Affirmation of Culture by Abby, Ashley, Emily, and Michele. Culture is an integrated pattern of human knowledge, belief, and behavior that is shared by society. It is one of the things that makes us unique, and it connects us together. The following presentation is how to affirm culture in a school setting. Culture can be celebrated at any level.
Responsive Classroom Morning Meeting is a powerful way to create a classroom climate of respect, engaged learning, and the greeting component sets the tone by helping all students feel noticed and appreciated at the very start of the day. Have all students learn to greet each other in the home languages of the CLD students, and find out if people have a different way of greeting in your CLD students' home culture. Try greeting with songs and chants. They may help ELL students become comfortable with new language forms. Reading aloud to CLD students at the start of a lesson can serve three important purposes: support engagement, support fluency, and give students access to text they will be working with. When we see people like ourselves in the media, including in fiction, we get a glimpse of who we might become, and we feel validated. We can gain role models and inspiration through literature. When we see people different from ourselves, we learn about them and get closer to them through their stories, thus reducing stereotypes and bias.
When the students enter the room, some teachers like to check the weather and share that with the students. One way to incorporate culture is to also check the weather in the home country of one of your students. Around the school, it's great to have color. One great way to add color is to add the flags of the different countries around the world. This promotes great discussion. Some students will never see these other flags unless we show them to them. When students enter the room, of course we greet them. But how cool would it be to greet them with other languages? You could also have a student from a different culture greet the students as they enter. In the curriculum, a great way to start conversation for your students that might not be so used to sharing about themselves is to have a cultural mind map. These are simple, but a great way to learn more about the child who might not be speaking much English yet. Each grade has a standard to write a narrative. Why not let students from other cultures write their narratives to tell you about themselves? This promotes discussion for all students about other cultures and to learn more about the students in your classroom. Student-driven inquiry is one of the best ways to make sure all students are feeling included in your curriculum. When students have choice in what topics are interesting to them, they are able to show what they know in the greatest format. Finally, one thing we like to do at the middle school level is to have special cultural events. One thing we do is have a cultural cafe. We have coffee donated and the students serve it to the different teachers of the school.
Teachers at the high school can use many of the same strategies that you might see in the lower levels. Have fun greeting your students in different languages and with different music. Even high schoolers notice when teachers enjoy them and value their uniqueness. Teachers can take advantage of the conversations they hear in the hallway or the classroom. Idioms are unique to regions and countries. Use them as a segue into the lives of your students. Clubs and activities are an important part of a student's life in high school, and they should reflect the interests and the backgrounds of the student body.
Teachers can also affirm culture by ensuring they have inclusive materials in their classroom, such as crayons and bandages that represent all students' ethnic and/or racial identities, as well as incorporating multicultural clip art. Teachers can affirm culture in the curriculum by addressing, rather than ignoring, bias in the curriculum, such as stereotypes, distortions, and/or omissions that occur in textbooks and classroom materials. Teachers should use instructional strategies such as oral discussions, creative writing, and cooperative learning groups that attend to culturally diverse learning styles. Teachers should provide students with access to multiple cultural perspectives surrounding a topic.
Another way to validate culture in your content is to believe that all of your students can learn. In high school, teachers are often up and running with content. It is difficult to be relevant if you don't know your students. Make the most of your first couple days and have your get to know you activities be designed so you can refer back and use them throughout the year.
Teachers should ensure they learn how to pronounce culturally diverse names, events, locations, and items correctly. Teachers can demonstrate value for students' native languages by allowing them to use their native language in the classroom when appropriate and by recognizing cognates.
And finally, teachers have the power to give students a voice. To ensure that this happens for all students, incorporate procedures that help you to call on all students and that give all students the ability to respond.